If you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go.
All right, peeps and peeplets, it is April 11th, Thursday, and it's 11:06 p.m. Eastern Time if you're on medication, and if you're not, it's still 11:06 p.m. Well, we're going to get into some Q-related news next. I have covered Q and also covered Julian Assange tonight, and now we're going to get into some Q-related news, but I don't want to belabor this because it is getting late, and I do have to get up at the crack of stupid tomorrow, so I'm going to get right into this, and hopefully I can resist the urge to chat your hind legs off, because you know I am inclined to do that from time to time. And I thought I was going to have Sammy on video here because he was right here, but of course as soon as I hit record he was off like a shot. So anyway, let's get into the news. No, like right into it. Okay. All right, here we go. Stop exercise and dieting, just take this pill. Yeah, right. All right, I do have a ad blocker on, so I'm not quite sure why I'm seeing all these ads, but here we go. Senate Democrats demand Bill Barr apologize and walk back his spying allegations. All right, top Senate Democrats are now calling on Attorney General Bill Barr to walk back his spying allegation. Bill Barr sent the Democrats and their stenographers and the media into a tailspin on Wednesday when he said Trump's 2016 campaign was spied on. Well, it was. I think spying did occur, Barr said during a Senate hearing, but the question is whether it was adequately predicated, and I am not suggesting that it wasn't adequately predicated, but I need to explore that. I think it's my obligation. I am not suggesting those rules were violated, but I think it's important to look at that, and I am not talking about the FBI necessarily, but intelligence agencies more broadly. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, in a tweet Wednesday afternoon, accused Bill Barr of spreading conspiracy theories and demanded Barr retract his statement or produce specific evidence to back it up. Careful what you wish for, Chuck. Barr is investigating Russiagate. Yes, you will get yours, Mr. Schumer. You will. And this is Chucky Schumer's tweet. Said AG Barr admitted he had no evidence to support his claim that spying on the Trump campaign did occur. AG Barr must retract his statement immediately or produce specific evidence to back it up. Perpetrating conspiracy theories is beneath the office of the Attorney General. Well, Chuck Schumer, of course, is an expert at knowing what is beneath the office. He certainly operates far beneath his office. So let's go on here. Stolen Valor, Senator Richard Da Nang, Dick Blumenthal also attacked Bill Barr on Wednesday in a statement and demanded he retract and apologize. I have to stop here for a second because I don't know what just happened in here, but it smells like somebody died. And the litter box is 3 rooms away, but I don't know what happened. I don't know what that cat's been eating, but I do know what that cat's been eating. He's been eating my mashed potatoes. I had a meal already, went to the bathroom, came back, he was mowing through my mashed potatoes. I'll tell you, he's wearing me down. But I love him. All right, let's go on. Attorney General Barr must retract his unfounded, irresponsible claim that American law enforcement spied on the Trump campaign. Well, didn't they? The only spies interfering in the 2016 campaign were Russian ones, Blumenthal said. Hello, these people just keep repeating this and repeating this like it's true. You know, like, there's no, repeat after me, Blumenthal, repeat after me. There was no Russian collusion. No Russian collusion. None. You know the meme that I showed you guys with Bart Simpson writing on the blackboard? There was no Russian collusion. Well, I think that they should all be made to write 500 times on a blackboard. There was no Russian collusion. Anyway, Da Nang Dick added that Barr's comments have a real, measurable impact on the lives and safety of our men and women in law enforcement. He owes them a retraction and an apology. How does Barr saying that there was spying on the Trump campaign put our men and women in law enforcement in danger? He didn't explain that because I guess he thinks we're too stupid to think it out for ourselves. House Speaker Pelosi also freaked after Barr said Obama's goons spied on Trump's 2016 campaign and accused the AG of going off the rails. Well, if anyone knows about going off the rails, she should. She's off the rails quite frequently. The screeching Democrats are upset that they no longer have control over the Justice Department, which is why they are attacking Bill Barr and claiming he is spreading conspiracy theories about Spygate. Yes, that's right. That is completely right. This from the Gateway Pundit. Now, let's go and let's go here. No, really, let's. This from the Washington Examiner. I'm serious. I'm coming to clean up all of the mess. So if you're out there and you lied and you defamed, we're going to come after you. Devin Nunes. Appearing with Sean Hannity, Nunes says he's coming after liars and journalists over everything to do with collusion. I love it. Let's listen to him.
So a couple of reporters there were the biggest perpetrators of the Russia hoax. And don't forget, they also targeted the National Rifle Association. They targeted a lawyer, Cleta Mitchell. So all of this was done in concert while they were slandering and attacking me and defaming me, attacking Republicans. And the whole time they were getting this information from someone. And so part of the lawsuit here is not only that they need to retract everything that they did against me, but they also need to come clean with the American people, retract all of their fake news stories. And so this is part of the broader cleanup. So remember a few weeks ago, I filed against Twitter that they're censoring conservatives. McClatchy is one of the biggest, the worst offenders of this, but we're coming after the rest of them. I think people are just beginning to wake up now that I'm serious. I'm coming to clean up all of the mess. So if you're out there and you lied and you defamed, we're going to come after you.
There you go. Love it. Strong words, but I like that, Devin Nunes. All right, let's go on here. So let's go to this. I think you will find this not surprising, but I think it might upset you a little, especially if you have an Alexa. A team at Amazon is listening to recordings captured by Alexa. How many are surprised? No, I didn't think so. An Amazon spokesperson said that an extremely small sample of Alexa voice recordings is annotated. Yeah. Oh, and we believe you, Amazon. We believe every word you say. Alrighty. A team at Amazon that includes both full-time employees and contractors listens to people's audio snippets recorded by devices with the company's Alexa assistant installed, according to a Bloomberg report. 7 people described as having worked in Amazon's voice review program told Bloomberg that they sometimes listen to as many as 1,000 recordings per shift, and that the recordings are associated with the customer's first name, their device's serial number, and an account number. Among other clips, these employees and contractors said they've reviewed recordings of what seemed to be a woman singing in the shower, a child screaming, and a sexual assault. Yeah, they'll use that as an excuse. Oh, we stopped it. I mean, they didn't, I don't think that they stopped the sexual assault, but they'll use that as a, well, see how, what good this is doing? We were able to, prove that a sexual assault happened. But you know what? As soon as they came out with that, I knew that sooner or later we would have an article exactly like this, because they're listening. It has to be listening. It has that capacity to listen, and of course it's listening to your conversation. And if you have it in your bedroom, you better hope that you're quiet. You know what I mean? So, let me see here. Among other clips, these employees and contractors said they reviewed recordings of what seemed to be a woman singing in the shower, a child screaming, and a sexual assault. Sometimes, when recordings were difficult to understand or when they were amusing, team members shared them in an internal chat room, according to Bloomberg. There you go. What would they find amusing? Listening to a couple being intimate? Would they find that amusing? Is that something that they would talk about in their internal chat room? Maybe. In an emailed statement to BuzzFeed News, an Amazon spokesperson wrote that an extremely small sample of Alexa voice recordings is annotated, and reviewing the audio helps us train our speech recognition and natural language understanding systems. So Alexa can better understand your requests and ensure the services works well for everyone. Oh, I believe that, Amazon. Yes, I do. Additionally, the spokesperson said all information is treated with high confidentiality. Oh, like Facebook? Like our data on Facebook? Do we believe these people? Amazon has a huge contract with the CIA. No, I don't trust them. Do you trust them? You are more than welcome to trust them. You are more than welcome to go out and get yourself an Alexa and just go to town. Now, personally, if I had an Alexa, I would do so as a joke, because I would be making sure that Alexa heard all sorts of things that might confuse it. Anyway, that's just me, and that's my sense of humor. But I'm not getting an Alexa, and I'm not getting what the Alexa now. You can get it so that you can see who's at the door, and which can be good. But I don't want people knowing who comes to my door, how long they stay, what they say. I mean, I understand, that there's reasons that to target people and to listen to their conversations and so forth if they might be planning something nefarious or whatever. But why do we need this kind of intrusion into our lives? Obviously, okay, I agree that they probably do need to help train the speech recognition and so forth, but don't you think they did that before they released it? But now they have thousands of people listening to snippets of recording that if they find funny, they share with others in a chat room and in an internal chat room. Isn't that lovely? So if you own an Alexa, there's a chance that some of your dinner conversation or your bedroom conversation or your bathroom noises may be going to Amazon directly. Additionally, the spokesperson said, all information is treated with high confidentiality. Yes, and we know that you always tell the truth. And we use multi-factor authentication to restrict access, service encryption, and audits of our control environment to protect it. Well, they're not protecting it from their employees, are they? Certainly not if these employees that are listening to these things are putting it on an internal chat room, things that they find amusing. That doesn't make me feel good. What if you've got your Alexa in the bathroom and you've got explosive diarrhea? Happens to everyone at some point. It's either constipation or diarrhea. It's bind over splatter. Not mind over matter, it's bind over splatter. And, it happens to everyone. And I'm just being real here. Seriously, any family is going to have arguments over at the dinner table, or they're going to discuss sensitive matters at some point. Do you really want strangers listening to your conversations? Because I don't. I don't. It's not that I'm talking about anything that's, well, sometimes I am. You know, sometimes I am talking about things with someone that are extremely sensitive. You know, especially because of research that I do. I do talk about stuff that's extremely sensitive that I don't want everybody to hear. But at any rate, let's continue. Apple and Google, which make two other popular voice-enabled assistants, also employ humans who review audio commands spoken to their devices. Both companies say that they make it anonymous, the recordings, and don't associate them with customers' accounts. Liars, because Alexa and Amazon have already said that they do. Apple's Siri sends us a limited subset of encrypted anonymous recordings to graders who label the quality of Siri's responses. The process is outlined on page 69 of the company's security white paper. Google also saves and reviews anonymized audio snippets captured by Google Home or Assistant and distorts the audio. And we believe Google too, right? On a fact page, Amazon states that Alexa is not recording all your conversations. And I believe it. Oh, absolutely. Amazon's Echo Smart speakers and the dozens of other Alexa-enabled devices are designed to capture and process audio, but only when a wake word, such as Alexa, Amazon, computer, or Echo is uttered. However, Alexa devices do occasionally capture audio inadvertently and send that audio to Amazon servers or respond to it with triggered actions. In May 2018, an Echo unintentionally sent audio recordings of a woman's private conversation to one of her husband's employees. How did that happen? No, really. How? In any case, this is all a good reminder that if you'd rather keep something private, it's not a bad idea to unplug your smart speaker. Yeah, I think so. That's why I don't have one. And it's funny because there were people around me talking about how wonderful it was. And I was like, I thought I don't even want to get into this conversation as to why I don't want one. Because, you know, then they're going to make a tinfoil hat for me and everything. Because really, I don't find that, I find it different in the States. People seem to be more awake to these things than they are in Canada. And okay, I can say that because I've lived in both countries. I grew up in Canada. I spent most of my adult life in the United States. So I've lived in both cultures, and I can unequivocally tell you that Canadians are far more naive about things like that than Americans are. I don't know why that is, but Americans are far more awake about stuff like that than Canadians are. You say that to a lot of Canadians and they're going to look at you like you have three heads. Now, not all, because there are many Canadians that are waking up as well, and I am delighted to see that. The more people that I see from Canada that are waking up, it just gives me so much hope and encouragement. It really does, and there are more and more every day. So anyway, let's go on from there and see what else we can get into. Let's go back. All right, now, can't quite remember what this is, but I know that it's important or I wouldn't have, yes. Israel Foley, Rugby Australia, intends to sack fullback after social media post. Rugby Australia and the New South Wales Rugby Union say they intend to terminate Israel I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Folau's contract after a social media post by the fullback in which he said hell awaits gay people. Folau, 30, has 73 caps and was expected to play at this year's World Cup. He does not speak for the game with his recent social media post, the government body said. In the absence of compelling mitigating factors, it is our intention to terminate his contract. Folau may never play rugby again. Rugby Australia and the New South Wales Rugby Union, which is responsible for Super Rugby side New South Wales, I don't know much about this. Israel has failed to understand that the expectation of him as a rugby, this is not what I thought it was, to tell you the truth. I thought this was something completely different. And I don't think that this is what I was meaning to get to. And I don't even remember at this point. Very odd. Odd. Let's scratch that and pretend it didn't happen, because that is not exactly what I saved, because it looks, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. You know what? I make mistakes. So there. I know nothing about rugby. All right, here. Now, let's go to this. All right. I love this. I really do. Representative Matt Gaetz. Breaking. Today, I filed the Pencil Act, expressing the sense of the House of Representatives that Congressman Adam Schiff should be removed from the House Intelligence Committee and his security clearance immediately revoked. The Pencil Act. Now tell me that he doesn't have a sense of humor, really. And I agree. Schiff needs to be removed. But this is, somebody responded and said savage. Now, let's go to another of his, oh, I like his whatever, splash there. Whatever you call that. It's getting late, you know. You know how I get when it's late. All right, and let's look at this one, which is, again, Matt Gaetz. Yesterday, I filed the Pencil Act to remove Representative Adam Schiff from the Intelligence Committee. If Schiff is able to review covert actions and intelligence, and we have to rely on his representations after he lied to the American people, our system is broken. Now, look at this. Gaetz files the Pencil Act. Now, what does that stand for? Preventing extreme negligence with classified information, and I think that says licenses. Matt Gaetz, Schiff spent 2 years lying about the president and Russia collusion. So this is pretty,
I want to just explain to our viewers, you have on the screen the name of this act, Pencil Act, Preventing Extreme Negligence with Classified Information Licenses.
For our favorite pencil, Tucker.
That's exactly.
Now, that's awesome. I don't care who you are, that's funny. And I love it when people have a sense of humor, and this is a sense of humor, poking fun, of course, at the fact that Trump called Adam Schiff pencil neck, and there have been numerous memes now, you know, representing Schiff with a pencil neck. So I love this. The Pencil Act. Love it. So I thought you would get, if you hadn't already heard, I thought you would get a kick out of that. Not a hard kick out of it, but you know. All right, so we've covered that. Let's look at this. Candace Owens, somebody that I have a great deal of respect for, a tremendous amount of respect for. And I'll tell you something, I'm not somebody that just respects people willy-nilly. To me, you got to earn it. And she has most certainly earned it. But here she says, Democrats say voter ID laws would be racist because black people can't figure out how to gather documents. They are now calling for reparations because I'm sure gathering the paperwork to prove our ancestry to slaves will be much easier. Democrats think blacks are stupid. I agree. I think they do. I mean, look at the speech that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez gave, where she goes, you know, it's okay to fold people's clothes. You know, the fake Southern accent, speaking to people like they're stupid. And yeah, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. So now, something else I think you'll enjoy. If not, then I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you will. Michael Avenatti, indicted on 36 counts, accused of ripping off mentally ill paraplegic client, faces 335 years in prison. Now, you are receiving this news via a cat turd. That's right, a cat turd. I could smell a turd about 3 rooms away right now, and it smells so bad that it could bake bread. I mean, it smells, I don't know what that cat eats. Anyway, I'm off again on a tangent, and let me pull myself back in, rein myself back in. I get weird at night, I'm telling you, I warned you, I get weird at night. Okay, and this from Cat Turd. Don't cry, Weasel. You'll be out of prison when you're 378 years old. Love me some cat turd now. Well, not that kind of cat turd, but that kind of cat turd. And just in case you don't trust the news that you're getting from a cat turd, well, let's go here. Because, we got to check it out. Make sure that this cat turd is really, earning his kibble. A celebrity beauty blogger, a paraplegic, and a mystery client. Here are the people Michael Avenatti stole from, feds say. The new indictment against Avenatti names 5 clients whom he allegedly scammed, including a disabled man and a YouTube beauty mogul. Wasn't, all those tweets where he said that Donald Jr. was going to prison and, all this. They didn't age so well, did they? No. Look who's going to prison now. Celebrity lawyer Michael Avenatti has been indicted by a federal grand jury in California on 36 counts, including fraud, tax dodging, and embezzlement. Raise your hand if you're surprised. I didn't think so. The latest charges come about 2 weeks after federal prosecutors in New York and California accused Avenatti of trying to extort millions from Nike, including, Nike Inc., and of stealing from clients and forging tax returns to defraud a bank. What a swell guy he is. No wonder Stormy Daniel wanted him for her lawyer. He's a swell guy. Yeah. Didn't he at one point say he wanted to run for president? That's going to be hard to do from prison. Avenatti has denied the charges. Well, naturally he would. Tweeting on Thursday, "I intend to fully fight all charges and plead not guilty. I look forward to the entire truth being known, as opposed to a one-sided version meant to sideline me. Well, somebody needs to sideline him, because somebody needs to save him from himself. The new indictment names 5 clients whom Avenatti allegedly scammed, and they include cases the Daily Beast has previously reported on, from a disabled man and a YouTube beauty mogul to a client who has accused Avenatti of running his business like a Ponzi scheme. No surprises there. Client 1. In January 2015, Avenatti negotiated a $4 million settlement on behalf of Client 1, Jeffrey Johnson, a paraplegic man who sued Los Angeles County over his emotional and physical injuries from a stay in jail. Johnson's story is tragic. According to his now settled lawsuit, Los Angeles police encountered him at 6:30 a.m. on April 24, 2011, when he completely naked, praying in the middle of the street when he was completely naked, praying in the middle of the street outside his apartment building. What's wrong with that? Just kidding. The lawsuit alleges Johnson was suicidal when transported to a local hospital. His intake form, according to the civil suit, said he believed that the only way to escape the plot of others to kill him was to commit suicide. Johnson would be transferred from hospital to jail cell after he allegedly lunged at a doctor. He was taken to the Twin Towers Correctional Facility and placed in a cell with a violent prisoner, despite his father and sister warning the jail of his mental illness and suicidal thoughts. After being released and then re-arrested, Johnson was kept in a cell where inmates were known to spit and throw feces. Johnson attempted to hang himself but landed on his head, resulting in a permanent disability from a spinal cord injury. This is horrible. According to the indictment, Avenatti falsely represented to Client 1 that the settlement agreement had to remain confidential and that the Los Angeles County would pay the $4 million in one lump sum. Avenatti also alleged that the county needed to approve a special needs trust for Johnson before he could receive the funds. Yet, Avenatti received millions from the county and failed to disclose the payment to Johnson, prosecutors allege. Stealing from a mentally ill paraplegic, that's just about as low as you can get. From January 26, 2015 to March 30th, 2015, Avenatti transferred $3.12 million of Johnson's money to an Egan Avenatti account before transferring substantial portions to an account for his law firm, Avenatti and Associates, then to other bank accounts controlled by Avenatti, including his personal bank account and accounts associated with GB Auto. By July 6, the indictment states Avenatti had drained all of the other settlement proceeds out of Johnson's client trust account, using much of it to pay his own personal expenses. Yeah, so I'm not going to go into all the nitty-gritty of that, but here's Client 2. What did he do to this person? Avenatti negotiated a settlement for the unidentified Client 2 on January 7th, 2017, with Individual 1 agreeing to make an initial payment of $2.75 million by January 28. An additional payment of $250,000 was due November 1st, 2020 under the agreement. Prosecutors say Avenatti, who was owed 33% of the total $3 million, didn't provide a copy of the settlement agreement to the client. Instead, Avenatti falsely represented that Individual 1 would make an initial lump sum payment that would go to Egan Avenatti's fees. The individual would then make 96 monthly payments over the next 8 years, Avenatti allegedly told his client. Still, Avenatti allegedly concealed the $2.75 million settlement and transferred $2.5 million of it to the attorney-client trust account for another law firm. The same day, prosecutors alleged Avenatti had his law firm transfer the money to Honda Aircraft Company, LLC, so Avenatti could purchase a private jet through his company, Passport 420. The remaining $250,000 was transferred from an EA account to an A&A account. So I'm not going to go on reading. It's pretty clear that he has stolen significant amounts of money from his clients. So I think he deserves to go to prison, and I believe that they would have this all well documented before arresting him because of his status and because of how much he has come out against Trump and, representing Stormy Daniels and so forth. I don't think they would make such a move on him unless they were doubly sure they were going to win. So I think he's going away to prison. Bye-bye. Yeah. And I don't think he's going to be well treated there. I really don't. Not that I wish him any harm. I don't. I don't wish the man any harm at all. But justice should be done. He should go to prison. And I don't believe that he will be well treated there at all. Don't think a lot of those men have a lot of respect for lawyers, especially lawyers that have done the things that he's done. So, yeah. All right. Now, this is interesting. It was interesting to me because I really want to go. It says, hold the date. We will be having one of the biggest gatherings in the history of Washington, D.C. on July 4th. It will be called A Salute to America and will be held at the Lincoln Memorial. Major fireworks displays, entertainment, and an address by your favorite president, me. So I would love to go to that. I have been to Washington, D.C. I think just 2 times, and one when I was very young. But I do know that it's going to be, can you imagine the crowds there? So I should start looking into that and planning it immediately, because probably all the hotels in the area will, fill up very, very quickly. And actually, I noticed, I checked the Trump Towers, or the Trump, I don't know what it's called, Trump Hotel, DC. Not that I can afford to stay there, but I just thought, I bet you it's going to be full already. And it was. It was. It's already booked for the 4th of July. So I won't be staying at the Trump Towers or the Trump Hotel in DC. And not even, I mean, even if I could afford it, I couldn't. So there you go. I bet you there'll be a lot of people there, though. Now, I think I have already shared this.
Right now,
Yes,
Julian
I have.
Assange.
Okay, that was from the last video, so we can get rid of that. And let's go back and see what else we can get into. Let's take a look at this. Interesting and true. Debbie Wasserman Schultz hired 2 MS-13 gang members to assassinate Seth Rich, but they failed. So Seth was killed while he was being cared for at the hospital. Yes, he was being cared for. And I mentioned this in the video, just this last video, the one on Julian Assange. 2 days after his assassination, 2 members of MS-13 were found murdered. How did Debbie get in touch with MS-13? The Awan brothers. Yeah. So there's so much that's going to be coming out. And a lot of us already know this because we've been following Q, right? But a lot of the public, they're completely clueless about this. And when this stuff starts coming out, they're going to be like, what? I mean, I don't even think you could write fiction this good. I mean, not that it's good, it's horrible. It's disgusting. I had no idea that Washington was as corrupt as it is. I mean, I knew it was corrupt. We all knew it was corrupt. But really, honestly, did you know it was this corrupt? Because I thought, okay, there's probably, a few bad apples in there, right? But no, I didn't think it was this big, that the corruption was this widespread. And it continues to boggle my mind. Because, most human nature says you want to think that people think and behave as you would, right? That's why when you see the neighbors interviewed, like a serial killer, there, is found next door, and they interview the neighbor and they say, well, no, I thought he was a nice guy. He invited me over to barbecue and stuff, and always waved. He was a great neighbor. No, I didn't. Right? It's happening right next door, but people don't know. And you know why? You know why? Because most people assume that other people are like them. So, this neighbor's thinking, well, I wouldn't be abducting people and killing them in my house, so I wouldn't think my neighbor would be doing that either. So, and that's how most people think. So I wanted to think that everyone thinks like I do, that would do the right thing, be honest, and try to do the best at the job that they've been tasked and trusted to do. But not so. Not so at all. All right, let's look at this. Representative Jim Jordan, another man that has won my respect anyway, looking forward to Inspector General Horowitz's report and Attorney General Barr's investigation. It's time to get to the truth. Absolutely it is. Let's give a listen.
But look, when all those things you spelled out, all those things that look like were wrong things that were done, remember who did them. Jim Comey, who was fired, who, as you said, leaked information to the New York Times to get a special counsel appointed. Andy McCabe, who lied 3 times under oath, was fired. Jim Baker, whose transcripts are now fully coming out. Jim Baker, chief counsel, was demoted, then left. currently under investigation by the Justice Department. Lisa Page, demoted, then left. Peter Strzok, demoted, then fired. These were the key people.
Will they be indicted in your view? If the rule of law is followed, will they be indicted?
Two things are going to happen. First, as Sarah just mentioned, Inspector General Horowitz is going to bring his report forward, as the Attorney General mentioned also yesterday, late May or June. That will tell us a lot, and then Bill Barr's investigation will unfold as well. I think that will determine if they get indicted.
Do you see laws broken? I know the criminal referrals from Devon are coming this week, probably tomorrow.
I do. I particularly think so with Andy McCabe. I think he's in trouble, and I think potentially Peter Strzok. But we'll just have to see what Mr. Horowitz says, and obviously what the Attorney General says.
Yep. It is coming to a head. I know that we're all getting fatigued. We're all wanting to see justice, but it is unfolding. It is. It's happening. And there is too much evidence around us that it's happening. Now, there's a lot of people on Twitter, Facebook, what have you, social media, all the social media platforms saying, yeah, we've been hearing this for a year and a half. Yeah, whatever. But if they were really following it, if they were really paying attention, they would realize, oh yes, it's happening. It really is. So let's go back now and see what else. I'd like to get through as much of this as I could. Now, this is interesting as well. According to the Daily Caller, these two perverts, Pencil Neck Schiff and Swalwell, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Swalwell? Who, coincidentally just announced he's running for president. I thought it was comedy at first, but no, he's serious. These two perverts used taxpayer funds to settle sex suits. Yeah, so, and they have the nerve to speak out against Trump. Yeah, they use taxpayer money to settle their sex suits. How do you feel about that? I don't feel real good about it. I don't feel any warm, fuzzy feeling from that. Would you want your tax dollars going to that? Of course not. And of course, I realize that this is a parody account here, but it's still funny. I don't care. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez press release, and it says right here, parody. And this is, I'm noticing this account, and it is a parody account, but quite often there's funny tweets there. So proud of my sister, Ilhan Omar. She's the only person I know that can post a picture of their spouse on National Sibling Day. Now, that's pretty good because, of course, we know that she married her brother. Ew. And this from Educating Liberals. A New York City casting call says white people will be paid less than people of color and will have to undergo mandatory sessions of anti-racism training. Seriously? Yeah, seriously. AKA, we're going to pay you less for being white. Now listen to us lecture you about how not to be a racist. Unbelievable. But so believable. In this environment today, it's believable. Yeah. And this from Cat Turd. I've been smelling cat turd for the last few minutes, but this is an entirely different cat turd. I have to gain 500 followers a day to break even. And this talking about censorship, because I know I'm experiencing it. I keep seeing comments from you all that say, well, I keep clicking on the like button, but it keeps, taking it away. Every time I click it, it unclicks. So, and that happens with, those that are subscribers. They say, well, wait a minute, I was subscribed and now I'm unsubscribed. That's happening a lot. Not only that, they shadow ban me so that if you're searching for me, it makes it very hard for people to find me. I'm not the only one. I'm not complaining because I think I'm the onlyest one that this is happening to. It's happening to all conservative voices. If you are saying anything close to the truth, anything against the given narrative, they're going to censor you whatever way they can. First, they try to demonetize you because they think that you will give up and quit. Because it is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. You got to research, you got to, it is. So they think, okay, well, we'll demonetize them and they'll probably just shut the channel down. Well, that doesn't happen. So they up it. They take your views away. They take your likes away. So it seems like you're getting less likes than you actually are. And they unsubscribe people. They do whatever they can, and they're doing the same on Twitter. So here is Cat Turd, who has had a massive following, saying, I have to gain 500 followers a day to break even. Every time I get 50 or so, they're instantly removed. All day, every day. Why? Because I love my country and our president, Donald J. Trump. 35 million impressions a month, but getting 6 followers a day? Okay, farting sound. Now, Cat Turd often ends it with farting sound, and that's just Cat Turd. But I really do like whoever this person is. They're very witty and clever, and they are being censored now. And it is censorship. And a lot of people on Twitter are being censored. I don't have a huge Twitter following because I haven't been on there very long, and generally I like to look up, other people. I, keep up with Donald Trump's tweets and other people in the government and so forth, just so I know what's going on. But I've noticed even my stuff at times gets, shadow banned or what have you. And it's just the way it is. It's the new normal, it seems. And I really do hope soon that it will be dealt with. Now, I want to play this for you because it's a feel-good story. I think it will make you feel good. It certainly did make me feel good. So, and I don't think that you guys are so different than I am. And here's these little boys, and this, I don't know, this warms my heart, okay? Young students stopped playing to cover their hearts for the national anthem. Now listen to this. A sweet moment was captured in a picture Monday afternoon. The North Gibson School Corporation shared the photo of about 8 Princeton Community Primary School students. The post says the children were playing during the after-school program, but stopped without being asked. The reason? The Star-Spangled Banner started playing at the softball game nearby. The students covered their hearts to show respect until the song was over. If you are curious about the game, Wood Memorial won over the Lady Tigers 17-5. Well, I don't know anything about that area, so I'm not interested really in the game, but that is incredible. They're in an after-school program. They're outside. Looks like they were playing ball, soccer or whatever. And there's a softball game going on nearby. And the national anthem starts. And they stop playing, put their hand over their hearts, and stop until, and do so until the national anthem is over. Now, I don't know who their parents are, but they were raised right. Those boys were raised right. And I think, I don't know, that's just a warm the bottom of your heart moment to me. And I think that you probably feel the same. So I wanted to share that because I do want to share good things when I find them because, the news is getting pretty burdensome, really. It's just, you hear it's worse and worse and worse. And I don't think it's going to get any better. Even when people are being brought to justice, I think that there's going to be things coming out that will be disturbing to most people. Most normal people. And, I know there's no such thing as normal, but you know what I'm saying. Most people that love America, love justice, love their country, their family, they'll find these things very disturbing. Now, the rest is getting a little bit old here because I had meant to bring it before, so I think I'm going to skip over it because I think probably most of you have probably already heard this. So I think I'm going to end it there. Now, let me know. Hopefully you have heard Candace Owen when she was testifying before the judiciary. It was Candace Owens was scheduled to appear before the House Judiciary Committee today, but that was several days ago. This hearing was to examine hate crimes, the impact white nationalist groups have on American communities, and the spread of white identity ideology. The hearing was also to foster ideas about social media companies, what social media companies can do to stem white nationalist propaganda and hate speech online. Well, I'll tell you right now, Candace Owens owned that room. And maybe I will click on this because if you haven't seen it, you need to. You really need to because it is phenomenal. And I think it is this one. Yes. Let me see here. And it says, I wish I could show this entire clip so you could see just how despicable Ted, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, and every Democrat on this committee were towards Candace Owens. They were nothing but manipulative rats, disgusting human garbage. She put them in their place for sure. Now, you need to listen to this young woman, and she is just a young woman. Candace Owens single-handedly exposes the manipulation methods of the Democrats in less than a minute. Democrat Party in less than a minute. So let's listen.
Ms. Owens, I'm sorry. We just started recording. Would you like time to respond to that?
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Luke believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly or to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again. The witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
The witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue?
Please.
As I said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that whether or not I believed in nationalism, and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist would not kill their own people. That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut-up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives. By the way, I would like to also add that I work for Prager University, which is run by an Orthodox Jew. When a single Democrat showed up to the embassy opening in Jerusalem, I sat on a plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of revealing that clip without the question that was asked of me.
Thanks, Mrs. Owens, and I yield the remainder of my time.
Gentleman yields back.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how many young women of any color, of any nationality, and really of any age, not even just young women, let's just say women, men, whoever, could have responded as well as she did. I think that was incredible. And she put them in her place. She did not allow them to do that to her. And what they did was they said that she was defending Nazism. But she was not. and they cut off everything that went before it, as they do with Donald Trump, with everyone. That's what they do. They'll take something, they creatively edit it, and they'll make it seem like you said something that you didn't. And she wasn't having any of it, and she let them know. And I'm extremely impressed with her. I wish I did have the full, I would love to hear the full everything that went on, but I haven't been able to find it. But if you have, let me know, or put it in the comments below, because it's definitely worth hearing. Okay, and let's go back here. So I think I'm going to stop there. There is lots of news that we could get into, but it's getting late. It's 12:01 a.m. and it's I think time to wrap it up tonight. But I'll be back tomorrow, either with Q posts or with the Q related news. I'm always combing through the news looking for interesting things that either pertain to Q or that I think might be of interest. So I will be back tomorrow, and I hope you are too. I miss you guys when you're not here. No, it really does feel like a family in a very odd way. It does, and I guess I get to see the names below that comment time after time after time, and I kind of get a sense of who you are. And so it does feel like a family, and I like that. I want it to continue to feel like a family. You know, if this channel gets bigger, I still want to have that sense in this channel, because I think we have a group of great people, and takes all of us. You guys teach me a lot as well. It's not all one way. And I also wanted to say, those of you that send me email or whatever, if I don't respond right away, it's because I'm incredibly busy. I have my own health issues, going to doctors and back doctors. That's why I have to get up at the crack of stupid tomorrow. And my mother and my stepfather are not well. So a lot of times I have to drive them to appointments and so forth. So I am really busy, and it's not that I'm ignoring anyone. That is never my intention. I try to get as much done in a day as I possibly can. So anyway, that's that for tonight, and I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And sleep well, stay safe, and remember, always seek truth, because deception bites, and it does.